Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a journalism student or an early career reporter right now, you are stepping into, honestly, one of the most intense media environments in history. You aren't just out there chasing quotes anymore. You're facing this daily barrage of deepfakes, synthetic media, and algorithmically amplified disinformation. It is a ton of pressure. But, and this is the good news, you are absolutely not stepping into this fight alone.
So, think about it. Can one single journalist verify the internet all by themselves? Well, we really love to hold on to this romantic myth of the lone wolf reporter, digging through the dark corners of the web, coffee in hand, single-handedly debunking complex global conspiracies. But today, that is literally impossible. No way.
Think back to traditional media for a second. News cycles were just slower, and verification was pretty much an insulated solo newsroom activity. But algorithmic media, that operates at a massive, terrifying speed. Information spreads like wildfire, going viral across borders in literal milliseconds. And this modern reality absolutely demands a networked, collaborative response.
Okay, so we really need a complete mindset shift here. You are now operating within a global verification ecosystem. This isn't just about what you can figure out sitting at your desk. It's this incredibly collaborative process that extends way beyond your individual newsroom. You are backed by a massive, macro-level network of support.
So who's actually in your corner? Well, you've got open source intelligence or OSINT communities like Bellingcat who collaboratively crowdsource geolocation and data. You have standard-setting international networks, think the IFCN and Pointer, alongside regional hubs like EDIMO and the EFCSN in Europe, and independent fact-checkers like Tayet.org sharing their findings with the whole world. Toss in journalism schools, media literacy programs, and tech initiatives like Google's Claim Review, which literally helps search engines explicitly identify fact-checked content. It's a powerful, highly active alliance of journalists, researchers, and technologists all working together.
But as we embrace this heavily tech-driven ecosystem, we definitely have to talk about artificial intelligence. Media expert Craig Silverman really hit the nail on the head when he said, there is no silver bullet, no perfect test for determining authenticity. Because while our ecosystem relies heavily on advanced verification tools, we absolutely cannot depend on automated systems to do the thinking for us.
Look, AI is an incredible asset for sure. It gives you unbelievable speed, processes massive data sets, and uses natural language processing and reverse image searches to spot manipulated media in seconds. But it's a double-edged sword. AI hallucinates facts, it carries algorithmic bias, and it operates with what we call black box opacity, meaning it spits out an answer, but it won't tell you exactly how it got there. If you're rushing on a tight deadline, blindly trusting that black box without knowing how it reached its conclusion, yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
And that brings us to a really foundational concept in modern reporting, human-in-the-loop verification, or HITL. Basically, AI is your supportive assistant, right? Not your replacement. Your editorial judgment, your contextual reasoning, and your human insight, those have to remain at the absolute center of the process. The AI flags the anomalies, you make the decisions.
Okay, so how do you actually do this under breaking news pressure? Well, you use a highly actionable four-step routine. First up, identify. What exactly are we checking here? Is it a specific claim, or maybe the context of a viral photo? Second, select the right tool from your ecosystem. Third, apply the tool methodically. And finally, decide. What can actually be concluded from the data, and where do you need to step in with your own editorial judgment?
As you make those decisions, you really have to remember a hard truth. Verification rarely produces absolute 100% certainty. You aren't always going to find a neat, perfectly true or false answer. Often you're just weighing competing pieces of evidence. It's like a giant puzzle. And in these cases, transparency isn't just some corporate buzzword. It's a core journalistic norm. You have to explain to your audience exactly how you put that puzzle together, and frankly, what pieces are still missing.
Which leaves us with this final thought. As you step out into this global verification ecosystem, armed with AI tools and backed by these massive international networks, how will you document and transparently communicate your verification uncertainty? Taking active responsibility for those gray areas is exactly what separates true journalism from the noise. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.